So here's a story which just took place a couple of days ago. A good friend called me up in panic and said, Bindu, I have a problem here. I said, what happened? Well, I know that my child has college education starting on 4 months from here. But the investments I had planned for, invested 20 years ago, unfortunately are still stuck in the particular product. I'm not able to pull it out now and I need the money now. I said, okay, what's plan B? Okay, good old fashioned. I go back to my PF, I pull out the money, and I'm going to make sure that my child goes to the school that you wanted to. Okay, but there's a cost to it. Are you ready? It means you are hitting yourself on your own retirement, despite having planned for this earlier. True, but you know what? I can't let my child down. Good afternoon, and thank you for having me here. It's wonderful to be able to address a room full of phenomenal women. Let me introduce myself. I'm Bindu Bhat, personal finance industry and wealth management space for about 2 decades now. And today, I'd love to talk about something which is very, very close to my heart and incidentally also happens to be the work I specialize in. Right? Believe me, believe it or not, for all of us today, despite the fact that India, as a growing economy, we hear all the noise on the stock market. We're talking about all the wealthy families getting wealthier, right? We see consumption going up. We see all the new products in the marketplace, and yet when it comes to the core, we love to ensure that we'll take care of our children, we'll take care of everybody around, and if it means we hit ourselves where it hurts the most, we will do it. So, what is this all about? And the journey that I see play out again and again and again is it doesn't matter whether an individual is earning 1 lakh a month or whatever, right? You could be earning 50 lakhs a year or a crore a year or whatever. But the gap between what I know, between what I should know and how I should be investing, so that I safeguard not just myself, but my family and everything that I worked so hard for, that gap remains. Why? We are all highly educated. There isn't a question of a lack of information in our country or any other media sources, and yet we struggle to make the right decisions. And this is gender agnostic. Trust me. Do not go by the fact that the men seem to know it all, and the women are saying, "I don't know." The difference is women are willing to say, "I don't know. I'm willing to learn." Men happen to get stereotyped. Call it the cross of being a man in Indian society. You can't say, "I don't know." It's not been You should know. If I have to look up it and say, okay, what are the 3 pillars to all the marketeers in the room, to everybody who is looking at it and saying, how do I go about making the best decisions as a marketeer? If I want to ensure that the products I'm looking to, with respect to my audience is reaching right, what should I be doing? 3 pillars essentially. Pillar number 1, trust. Money is an emotional decision for each of us. Doesn't matter whether I'm selling the product or whether I'm buying the product, every money decision is an emotional decision. It has an impact not just for me, but for somebody I love, right? And that basically means that when we're telling the story about the product that we're talking about, whatever may be the investment modality, whether I'm selling you an FD or selling you an insurance or I'm selling you a mutual fund, doesn't matter. I'm giving you a storyline which says this will take care of a problem which is real for you. But am I being trustworthy? Because you're not going to trust me because I say bank X. Banks have fallen, banks have continued to stay put, right? So can I ensure that my message is strong and clear that I am trustworthy? Very, very critical. I need to be transparent. So how do I go about ensuring that you trust me? Trust is built on what? On transparency, on believability, and the fact that I'm consistently there for you. I show up. Pillar number 2. Let's move beyond trying to force fit a product, right, to what I think you should be buying. Move out from there to what is your pain point? What is the problem I'm trying to solve for you? And the moment I define it and say, hey, like my friend came back and said, my child's education It's a program in the US. It's going to cost me a crore and I want to ensure it's there. You know that. Make sure that the problem is in line with, the solution is in line with the problem. Plan ahead. Make sure that when we are communicating, you're communicating right, which means you educate your client very clearly, your investor very clearly, that look, this has a lock-in. You need the money 2 years from here. This won't happen. When do you need the money? Have those conversations and make it real. Do not disappear. Because one of the challenges that investors have faced is that when you have a problem, the product seller is nowhere in sight. We need to ensure that that's not the conversation we are having with our investor. Pillar number 3, move beyond product selling to relationships. Remember, a financial product is not just about a plug and play for today. It's a solution that you're looking at for the next maybe 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. These are relations that you build. And who better than we in the finance industry to understand that very clearly? We talk about it, you must have all seen advertisements of Aaj, Kal aur Parso, right? But it's not about just saying it, it's about being there. Our stories must talk that language. Our presence must speak and sustain that language. And when it comes to the crux, we must be there to deliver it, be there real time. So, to summarize again, to all the marketeers in the room, it's highly critical that we inform, right? We ensure that our messages are sustained conversations and they're consistent. And very important, last but not the least, show up, because that's what the investor is looking out from you. Thank you very much and look forward. Any conversations that you have that you'd like to know more, that you'd like to talk about and say, hey, how can we do this better? Reach out and we can really take this forward. Thank you again.